Hey everybody, I haven't been live in a while. I've been real busy over in my Facebook group. I don't know if you guys are in the Facebook group or not, but if you're not, feel free to come on over. I do have a link to that group in my bio, so you can join. It's on Facebook, and you can also search it. It's called The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal. So come on over, join the group. There's so much going on over there. It's been growing really fast, and a lot of people are showing their results of their parasite cleanses, and they're talking about like the symptoms that are improving and just like things that they're passing. There's pictures involved. You can see those if you want to or not, up to you. So there's lots, it's all across the spectrum, right? And so everybody's got a different situation, and everybody is in a different like health situation. So basically, I mean, I think that it's pretty clear that everyone does have parasites to some extent. We're just exposed to them all the time. We're mammals. Mammals have parasites, right? Like that's just the way it is. So we just need to like kind of come to grips with that fact and basically start cleansing ourselves regularly. And it's not hard. Like there's lots of foods and herbs and other kinds of ingredients that you can easily use regularly just to keep yourself cleaned out, basically. So there's a ton of different things that we discuss in that group. There's pharmaceutical meds, which I don't necessarily ever recommend or use myself, but there's also plenty of natural options, like I mentioned, herbs, some types of oils, some combinations of ingredients, that kind of thing, that people are getting really good results with. So it's great. And so I wanted to do a quick Q&A. Can you tell me CDS? What is, can you spell that out for me? Because there's so many acronyms these days, right? I'm not coming to mind with what CDS stands for. So if you could spell that out for me, I may actually already have some insight on that, but I need to, look it up or whatever. Oh, CDS. Okay. That thing is called so many different things. Like it's called MMS, it's called, chlorine dioxide. Some people call it pool water, all of that stuff. So, I actually, I haven't researched enough into it and I haven't used it. I have heard a lot of people get really good results with it. I haven't become comfortable enough with it to use it myself. Do you have any experience with that? Because that's just one of the things I haven't used yet. But I will, I'm planning to look into it more and perhaps try it once I become like more comfortable with it. I know there's like some documentary and like videos on it and stuff like that. So I just need to kind of like look into it more. I've been using, I actually did look into it a little bit, and I saw how it's made, and I was a little bit put off by that because it seems very synthetic to me, like man-made in a lab or whatever. But I do plan to look into that a little bit more. And I have heard that it's really effective against parasites. A lot of things are, right? But it's just more, it seems like a little bit more on the pharma side to me, and I'm just not a huge fan of pharma anything. So at this point, I haven't done it yet, if that makes sense. So if you have any insight or like want to send me something on it, I'd be happy to look at it, because I do kind of want to like look into that a little bit more. I just haven't become comfortable enough with it myself to try it or recommend it yet. I don't like to recommend anything that I'm not super familiar with or don't feel like I understand exactly what's going on with it. So that's kind of my take on that. Yeah. Insight into what? Someone asked about chlorine dioxide as an antiparasitic, and I am just kind of saying that I haven't really researched into it enough to give any kind of like recommendation as far as that goes. I do think that there are plenty of completely natural options, which is kind of what I tend to recommend more. So, and these are things like very cheap, very inexpensive, very easily accessible herbs and oils and components and ingredients and spices and that kind of thing that are all very anti-parasitic. It's kind of more of a lifestyle where you just keep it in mind, kind of try to avoid parasites when you can, just eat things that are, gonna keep your body strong, right, and healthy, and your immune system high up, right? So that's kind of the approach I take. I want to change the environment of our bodies. So if we have like a really bad parasite infestation, then there's a reason for that, right? Like if if parasites are able to thrive in our body and grow and multiply, it's because there's a weakness in our bodies, right? So that weakness is what my goal is to address that weakness, to create a better balance in our bodies so that they can't just thrive. Okay, so I have 3 steps in the protocol that I do, and I think all 3 steps are super important. The first step is to open up your detox pathway, so it's like a prep, right? Like you want to prep your liver and your kidneys and your detox pathways, and just kind of open up the elimination pathways so that when you do step 2, which is eliminating the parasites and doing antiparasitics, everything can flow out as quickly as possible. So you'll have some toxins, you'll have some metals, you'll have some parasites that all need to get flushed out of your body as quickly as possible. And if there's any backup or like anything's blocked in those elimination pathways, then it's not going to get out very quickly and it's going to make you feel sick. So you might get a headache, you might feel nauseous, you might get flu-like symptoms. That's what we call a Herxheimer reaction. So step 1 is basically to do as best you can to prevent a Herxheimer reaction, to prevent sickness, to prevent illness and symptoms, okay? You want this to be as comfortable as possible, as successful and safe as possible, right? So step 1, super important, okay? Step 2 is the actual cleanse. That's what most people just jump to, is step 2. Like, let's just jump in and do antiparasitics and kill all the worms, right? But if you don't do that first step, step 2 is not going to be very fun, okay? Because you're just not going to feel very good, okay? So we're just trying to make this as comfortable as possible, right? Who doesn't want that, right? Step 1's important. Step 2 is important. That's the antiparasitics. That's the actual killing of the parasites. Step 3, I think, is the most important, okay? I call it maintenance or replenishment. So it might not sound like it's that important, but it's so important, okay? And so that goes back to what I was talking about, where you need to change the environment of your body and the balance of your body so that the worms don't just grow right back. And when I say worms, I mean parasites aren't always worms. They can be microscopic. They can be cellular. They can be flukes, which are like these fat things, okay? They can be quite a few different things, not necessarily just these long worms that you see sometimes. But basically, they're there for a reason, because our bodies have become weakened. Our immune system is lower. So we just need to strengthen our bodies, which weakens the parasites, makes our bodies less hospitable to them. You don't want to be a good parasite host, right? So you want to make your body less of a parasite host, basically. The stronger you are, the weaker they are. So that's what step 3 does. It strengthens your immunity. It replenishes your microbiome. It continues to release parasites. There's some spices in there that are also antiparasitic that help you to continue to release parasites. Because you might think, okay, I'm going to do a parasite cleanse one time and then I'm good forever. Nope, that's not how it works, right? Like, you probably won't get them all, but you'll put a dent in it and it will help you, right? And if you do step 3 to replenish your microbiome, it's like a cycle, right? Like, just like sickness is a cycle. Like, it's like a snowball. Like, it's going to go like this, and you're going to keep getting more and more symptoms and feel worse and worse and think, gosh, I'm the unluckiest person alive because they have so many different problems, but you don't realize that they're all related and they all have a common root. So if you start getting to that root, strengthening your immunity, removing parasites, replenishing your microbiome, then that snowball starts coming back this way and getting smaller and smaller. So it's a cycle either way. It's either a cycle of illness or a cycle of health, right? And you just have to figure out how to reverse it so that you're going the right direction, right? Okay, let me look at some of these questions because this is a Q&A. All right. Yeah, let me know if you try the chlorine dioxide. Let me know your, and feel free to send me info because I do need to look into it more. I'm in a group on Telegram that has a lot of info from people who used it. I could share it. Yeah, feel free to share it with me. You can send me a message if you want. Telegram is a lot. So I have a big infestation, got rid of some, but not sure what I should fix. Okay, well, so I have been trying to streamline this process. I have a 3-step protocol that I've been mentioning, and there is a group. So I think your name, I'm not sure what your name is, Burkati. If you want to come join the group, feel free to come join the group. It's on Facebook. It's called The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal. So you can look that up and join. Or I have it linked in my profile. So you should be able to just find it in my profile and click that and join. Let's see. How can you guarantee dead expelling? I don't understand the question. Are you saying, how can I guarantee they are dead when you expel them? Or how can I guarantee that you are going to kill parasites? I'm not sure what the question is. Let's see. So if you want to repeat like what you mean by that, I will try to answer it. I've been at it for 3 years and they're still coming out. Yeah, that's a thing, you know, and the reason that I do the 3-step protocol is to kind of speed that process up a little bit, because here's the thing. Whenever you just kill the parasites, you just do the step 2, only antiparasitics, and you don't pay attention to the ecology of your body and like change that in a way that makes you less hospitable to parasites, they're just going to grow right back. That's what they do, because you didn't change anything. Okay. So if you don't change anything, nothing's going to change. See what I'm saying? Like, you can kill all the parasites you want, but they're going to come right back because you didn't change the reason they were there. Does that make sense? Like, you have to change something, right? Just killing them doesn't change the environment of your body, right? I mean, it does a little bit, but you have to change the balance inside of your body because there's a reason they were able to take hold in the first place. Okay. So if you've been at it for 2 or 3 years and you're still passing parasites and you're still like, you haven't won this battle yet and you're not just on a maintenance, that's a long time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it should take that long, honestly. And that's why I've got step 3, because I want to make sure that at the same time, we're strengthening our bodies, we're strengthening our immune system, weakening the parasites. So I'm not saying like if someone has a very bad infestation or, you know, it's really deep or a lot of problems or cancer or something like that, it could take a little while. But if you're going on years and you're constantly having to keep doing this and just feel like you're treading water, then that's a root cause issue problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to change the environment inside of your body so they can't live there. Okay. So, that's why I keep harping on step 3 and why I think it's more important than the other 2 steps, honestly, because if you can change the environment in your body, it's going to expel the parasites by itself. Like, step 3 could do step 1 and step 2 by itself if you let it go long enough, right? So I just think that like it's so important, right? Like, it's so important. And there's other ways you can do it. It's just the easiest, fastest, simplest, most natural way to do it, right? And I think like probably the cheapest too, because if you're going at it for years and years, then it gets expensive, right? Okay, let's see. There was a good product on the market around a decade ago called Colonics by Dr. Netra. It was great. Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. What was in it? The Colonics. Can you repeat step 1, please? It's in my bio. So if you want, there's actually an article in my bio. I think it's the first one that gives you like bullet points, like step-by-step instructions. And it's like, this is exactly what you do. Here's step 1. This is step 2. Here's where you buy it. It's on Amazon. Step 2 is on Amazon. Step 1 and step 3 are together. That you get them at the same website. So there's a link for both of those. And then there's a link for Amazon for step 2. Okay. So it's super easy. It's bullet point. This is what you do first. Do this next, then do this, then do this. Okay. And if it's not super clear, please let me know, because I'm trying to make it as clear and simple and easy as possible. So if it doesn't make sense, if something doesn't make sense or it's not clear, please just like reach out and let me know. Zeolites. Yeah, I have a video on zeolites. Some people love them. They're not my favorite, but some people love them. Okay, so you're asking you're asking if I can guarantee that they'll be dead when they come out. I am not going to give you any guarantees. Sorry. The problem is that there's so many different people in so many different situations, and it depends what you do, right? So it depends which like antiparasitics you're taking, exactly kind of like what parasites you have and like what issues are going on. I will tell you that most parasites are microscopic, so you're not going to see them. Some are bigger, and a lot of people do see bigger ones. Okay. But if you have bigger ones, you need to get them out. Okay. So that's important. And I also will say that in almost every single case, probably more than 99% of the time, they're dead. Like I've almost never seen anyone pass live parasites. Okay. So while I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to guarantee you that they're going to be dead, pretty much guaranteed. yeah, I mean, I've never seen this kind of like alien issue where you're like, something's like moving around. You know what I mean? Because of mercury poisoning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mercury poisoning is bad. Definitely if you have like amalgam fillings, if you can get them out, get them out. If you have root canals, get them out. These things are terrible in our mouths for sure. I'm just trying to check out all the questions real quick because it's hard to see them as they come up if I'm talking. So if I didn't get your question, can you put it again just in case I missed it? If you didn't hear me answer it, I will I'll be able to answer it. Again, just to reiterate, I have a group on Facebook and we talk about this stuff all the time and people are showing their results. So please come join it. It's on Facebook. So if you go on Facebook and search The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal, and just click request to join and put a little blurb in there so I know that you're not a bot or whatever, and I'll let you in. There should also be a link in my bio to that group. I had it in there and then I kind of like changed stuff up yesterday, so I think it should still be in there. Let's see. What do you think of coffee enemas for expelling parasites? I think coffee enemas are great. And a lot of people do pass parasites on coffee enemas. The thing about parasites is they can be anywhere in the body. Okay. So if you do a coffee enema and you have parasites in your liver, which a lot of people do, liver flukes, or you have something in your colon or lower intestine, something like that, then you will likely pass those things when you do a coffee enema. Okay, so I think that coffee enemas are amazing. They increase the body's production of glutathione. They help the liver to kind of dump anything that it's holding on to. They're really good. I definitely recommend that for anybody who's, especially like if you have constipation or you're having any kind of like issues at all, really. Yeah, coffee enemas are great. And they can and do help people pass a lot of parasites. I don't think that that's the only thing that you should do. Okay, because they're only going to get those kind of lower intestine and liver parasites. They're probably not going to get other parasites in the body. So I think it's a really good method to do. It's a good strategy, but it shouldn't be like the only thing you do. Does that make sense? Okay. And some people are kind of squeamish about that stuff, but we're talking about parasites and worms coming out of your body. So we kind of have to get over that at some point. So the best way to open your pathways, if you want to check my bio, Joni, sorry, hopefully I said that right. If you look at my bio, the first thing there is an article that goes step by step, every single thing that you do. And I'm trying to be super clear in there. So if anything's confusing, please let me know. I'm just trying to optimize this for people. I want to make it as easy to understand as possible. I want it so if you go there, you know exactly what to do, exactly what to order, you know exactly how to do it yourself, okay? And you're always welcome to reach out to me to ask questions, but I just want to make it easy so you can refer back to it and say, okay, next I do this, okay, and then I freeze these, and then I take this, and then, just make it really easy and simple and just lay it out, because I know that a lot of people have never done it before and they don't understand and they're scared and they don't know exactly what to do. So if I just tell you, then you're like, I still don't know what to do. Okay. So look at that article and look at step 1. That's how you open your pathways. It's a 3-day gut reboot. It's very affordable. It actually comes free if you order the step 3. It comes with both. Okay. So that's how I recommend to do it, because I think step 3 is so important, but it's a gut reboot, and it's 3 days. It's got a restricted diet and some herbs, and it just is so good at opening those pathways. Okay. So, there's other ways to do it. They're just not as easy and not as quick and not as intuitive, and simple and effective as that. So I like that because it's just, anyone can just do it. Right. And it's really not expensive or anything. Okay. Liver flukes. I think liver flukes are awful. They, most people have them. And if you go to the doctor and ask about them, they'll probably say, oh, that's super rare. Nobody has them, especially not in America. But yeah, a lot of people have them. Flukes are kind of so whenever someone does a parasite cleanse, flukes almost always are the first thing to come out. Like it's so common. Like you see them almost like with step 1, where it opens the elimination pathways, people pass flukes just on step 1 all the time. Okay. And it's because it's got liver supporting herbs, and it kind of unclogs the liver. And so if you've got flukes in the liver, that can be causing the clogs. So even on just step 1, a lot of people pass flukes. And often, I mean, I don't know if it's always the case, but usually what I'm seeing is that that's the first thing people are passing is flukes. Okay. The first thing, like any effort you make, you start passing flukes. There can even be flukes in your blood. So there's different types of flukes. They can infest the liver, they can infest the blood, different things. I think they cause a lot of the problems that we have, honestly. So if you have, I don't know if that answers your question, or if you have something more specific you want me to talk about, but flukes are interesting. Yeah, coffee enema is what I was talking about. Somebody asked about the coffee enema. What's your question about that, Constance? Coffee enemas are great. They have a specific type of coffee that they use for coffee enemas. It's like a low roast, like a really, really super ultra light roast. And it's super high in caffeine, but it doesn't affect you like when you drink coffee. It just stimulates your liver to like dump all the toxins. So a lot of people who can't drink coffee or won't drink coffee, they'll do coffee enemas, and it's just amazing results for them. I mean, it's not for everybody, I guess. I mean, I think it's a good thing to do, but yeah, make sure it's organic. And they have specific coffees you can do. How do you get rid of liver flukes? I kind of addressed that. So if I didn't, ask me a more specific question, I guess. But like pretty much any parasite cleanse that people do, that's like the first thing that I see. How do I get there? How do you get where? To my group. My group's on Facebook. It's called The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal. And I have an article in my bio if you want to click on the top link there, and it gives you step by step what to do if you haven't done a parasite cleanse before, exactly what to do. Always feel free to reach out. I do have a Google Voice number in there. You can text me if you have any questions or need to talk to me about something. Especially if like you're doing it and you're like, I don't know what to do next, or I'm confused about this, or something just happened, I can give you that support. Feel free to text me. Okay, let's see. Cooled coffee. Yeah, cooled coffee, not hot coffee. Yeah. It's like body temperature, basically like warm, but yeah. I need help. My stomach is a mess. Yeah, that is so common. Did you know, I read the other day that I think 88% of pharmaceutical drugs that are sold both over the counter and prescription are for digestive issues. So that's insane. Like almost 90% of the meds sold overall are for digestive issues. That's crazy. Like so many people have digestive problems, like whatever, reflux or indigestion or IBS or all these other issues. It's crazy. And that's the start of everything. I truly believe that the gut is the root of our health. Okay. Because it has to be, right? Like all the food we eat goes through it. Everything we eat or drink, it's like to protect the barrier between the rest of our body and the outside world, right? So the gut has to be, right? And if there's something messed up in your gut, it's going to affect the rest of your body, right? Because the gut is the thing that absorbs and distributes the nutrients, right? So we have to put preeminent, focus on gut health, because it's going to affect everything else, even mental health, right? Even our psychological state and all of that. So it really is important. If you want to reach out, we can definitely talk. I definitely think parasites and gut health are where it's at. You got to start there. So check my bio for sure, and like my other TikTok videos, because I talk about this so much. The first article is like a step-by-step how to do your first parasite cleanse and heal your gut from the root. Weeks from death. Why don't you message me, Constance? I would love to talk to you more. I've got a Google Voice number in my bio, so please reach out. I would love to talk to you, and I'll give you any suggestions that I can. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear you're suffering. But I have seen people come around. I've seen people turn around from that point. And it's possible. I think healing is possible. Possible to fast while trying to maximize. I don't really understand what you're referring to as far as VO2 max. Maybe if you can explain that a little bit more, I can know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what that is. All right, so let's see, is there any more questions that I didn't see? If I didn't see your question, I went through all of them, but I might have missed something. So if I didn't see your question, feel free to put it again, because it's like scrolling. So I have to scroll back to find old questions. So I'm not sure if I missed any. But yeah, so if you're not in the group already, please come join the group. It's growing so fast and people are getting such great results. What we do in the group is, I recommend that everyone follow the 3-step protocol that I recommend, just because it's comprehensive and it's sustainable. It opens your detox pathways, gets rid of the parasites, and makes sure they don't come back. And it strengthens your body, heals you from the root, like I was talking about with gut health. It just starts replenishing your microbiome, and that strengthens your immune system, and it just changes the ecosystem inside your body, right? It's so important, right? Like I can't emphasize it enough, how important it is to strengthen your body and replenish your microbiome, and that gut health is the root of that, right? And it's possible, we can do it, right? Like, it's so possible. But I see so many people go into doctors and then come out and have no answers, even after they've done testing, even after they've, run through diagnostics and all of these things. They still have no answers and they feel hopeless, right? Either they think, the thing that I have is just genetic, there's nothing I can do, or this thing is incurable. I don't believe that. I think there's healing for everything. And I think that parasites and gut health are the root of it, and we can address it and we can heal. I think that there's hope and there's healing for everybody. That's what I believe. So if you want to talk more about your specific situation, please reach out. Again, in my bio, there's a number. It's a Google Voice number. So you can text me on that number if you need to talk. And I've also got other resources in my bio, like articles. I have a website. I write down things that I've researched and kind of like what conclusions I've come to, the things that I have found that I can recommend that can help you. And I always recommend things that are guaranteed, so, if you have some kind of reaction or you don't get the results you want, you can always return it, right? So I just try to find the best products that I can. I don't make products, but I, try to find the best ones that I can to refer people to. See if there's any more questions. Ivermectin, that's a good one. Okay, so I've talked about this before. I do have a video on this, but ivermectin, okay, I think it's a good drug. Okay, I think it's a good drug, but I don't like drugs at all. Okay, so I respect it. It's a good drug. It is. I know the history of it. It is really, it's impressive. Okay, it's won a Nobel Peace Prize. It gets to the root of a lot of issues. It's an anti-parasitic, very effective. People have used it for cancer. And the reason that I think that it's effective for cancer is because cancer is caused by parasites. That's what I think. And maybe not in every single case, but I kind of think so. So it's, there's a lot of evidence for it anyway. That's my personal opinion from a lot of research. So while I think that it is a good drug, I don't like any drugs. I'm not a fan of pharma. And I think that drugs in general, while they may have some benefits, at the same time, they do harm. Okay. And I think even Fenben, even ivermectin, these drugs that kill parasites, yes, they kill parasites. Yes, they are effective at it. And if you want to go that route, that's totally fine. I don't use them personally, and I don't recommend that people use them, but it's totally up to you. It's your, decision, what you want to do. I just think that similar to antibiotics, pharma antiparasitics can kill the good along with the bad. Okay. So basically they can kill good bacteria. They can disrupt the balance of the microbiome more, because they go in and kind of kill indiscriminately. And that is a problem for me because I have already discussed in this talk that step 3 is so important because we have to restore that balance to our bodies to increase our immunity, like improve our immune systems and our bodies and the balance in our microbiomes. So if you take an antiparasitic, like a pharma antiparasitic or a pharma antibiotic, it's probably going to give you the results that you need, like kill the bacteria or kill the parasite. But it's also going to kill some good along with the bad. And then, I mean, you can address that, you can replenish after you do that. It's just going to be more work after you do that. Okay. So I don't think it's completely necessary is kind of what I'm saying. Like they're good. They're fine. You can use them if you want, but you're going to have to do a little more work on the back end to replenish those good bacteria after you do it. Okay. And I mean, I think step 3 is important anyway for anybody, but if you don't do step 3, and you take a pharma antiparasitic, it's likely they're going to come right back, and they're going to come back with a vengeance because you've already killed off some of the good guys that are protecting you. You've killed off some of your immune system along with it, basically the good bacteria in your gut, which is what comprises most of your immune system. Okay. I hope that makes sense. That's how I feel about ivermectin. Where is your peer-reviewed study on that? I've read a lot of them. So, I mean, I can send you a whole number of them if you'd like, but it doesn't sound like you really want to see it. Kind of sounds a little snarky to me. Let's see. Like I said, I mean, if you decide to take ivermectin, that's up to you. Okay. I just don't take it myself. God put everything we could ever need right here on earth. I agree with that. I think that nature really does give us everything that we need. So I just don't think taking ivermectin or other drugs is necessary. But if you want to do that, it's totally up to you. All right. So let's see if I can block this troll. Okay. Bye, Scott. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not really anti ivermectin or whatever. I know it's done a lot of good for a lot of people. It's just, I don't think it's necessary is all. So that's just kind of my take on it and totally up to you. Any other questions you guys have? Again, I'll mention it again if you're new to this live. I have a group. It's on Facebook. It's growing pretty fast. A lot of people are getting great results with a 3-step parasite cleanse that I put together. Step 1 is to open elimination pathways. Step 2 is to kill parasites. And step 3 is to make sure they don't come back. So I don't make products myself, but I just refer people to ones that I've found to work really well that are guaranteed. So feel free to come over to the group and join in on the cleanses. We actually do them once a month. I do it over the full moon, and some people feel a little woo-woo about that, but it's actually scientifically based. It's because parasites act differently during the full moon. Basically, they respond to the hormones in our bodies. Things just happen, during the full moons. Different hormones and different chemicals are at different levels. There's a whole explanation about it, but basically parasites move around in different ways, and they start to lay eggs during the time of the full moon. So they're just more vulnerable, right? So I feel like if you're going to go to all this effort to do a parasite cleanse, let's do it at the time it's the most effective, right? So I lead a parasite cleanse in my group, The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal, on Facebook once a month. And you can jump in anytime. You can just watch until you're ready to do it, ask questions, gather supplies, all of that. And then when you're ready, I'm leading it once a month, and you can jump in and, we do it together. So it's really simple. It's not difficult. I know it's kind of intimidating if you haven't done it before. But if you haven't done a parasite cleanse before and you want to, feel free to look in my bio. I just wrote up a quick instructional article in my bio. It's the first link there, and it says, exactly what to do if you want to do your first parasite cleanse. I go step by step get this, take this, do this, freeze this, just exactly what you need to do step by step. And if that isn't clear enough for you, just let me know, because I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. If anything is unclear or confusing in any way, please let me know, because I want to clarify it. Okay. And I'll change the article or, work with you on it. Turpentine. Yeah, I do have a video about turpentine. Let me see what other questions I have. Other natural suggestions. No, you don't have to do it every month. You don't have to do it every month. I just lead one every month. Okay. So I typically, for maintenance purposes, I'll do it maybe 3 times a year. Okay. But not every month for sure. And then I just do like a good, gut healing regimen in between. And so that maintains it. So turpentine is interesting too. And I do have a video about that. So if you want to look in my, playlist in my bio, there's a playlist, and if you look in the step 2 playlist, I talk about turpentine and how I take it. It is a very good anti-parasitic. Definitely do your research on that. Some of these ingredients have been demonized by the medical industry and online, so I take them. But you got to do your own research. And I'm trying not to get too many haters by what I say, because people get on here and they're like, you're killing people and all this stuff. So there's actually, if you look up pine gum spirits, that's also known as turpentine. And a lot of people have taken it, and there's lots of stories on YouTube and TikTok and online about it. So just make sure that you do enough research so that you're comfortable with it and you're seeing how people are doing it and that kind of thing. So I do have a video on that in my playlist, and it is a good anti-parasitic. They say cleansing is best at the waning of the moon, when the moon looks like a C. Interesting. Everything I've read is that it's during the full moon. So you do start about that time. Well, no. Yeah, it wouldn't be then, because that would be the new moon. Interesting. But everything I've read is that the best time to do it is during the full moon. So typically I'll do 7 days, and I'll center it on the full moon. So we just had a full moon on the 5th. So if you were going to do a 7-day anti-parasite cleanse this month, you would have started on May 2nd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yeah. So if it was a 7-day cleanse on the full moon in May, it was the 5th. So you'd start on the 2nd and end on the 8th. Okay. So I center it on the full moon, and that's step 2 is centered on the full moon. Does that make sense? Sorry. I know it can be a little confusing. But I have all 3 steps laid out in my bio. If you look at the first article, if you've never done a parasite cleanse before, you can just take it step by step and see it there. Yes, I know of Dr. Jennifer Daniels. There's so many great doctors and people out there talking about this stuff. Let's see. Turpentine is wonderful for painful joints. Good. I'm glad you've had good results with that. There are certain parasites that infest the joints. That is known. And there are some good ingredients that can help combat that. One of them is turpentine, and one of them is boron, also known as borax. So I've gotten a lot of hate for talking about that. But anyway, so any other questions? I don't know how long I've been on here, but I can wrap it up soon. So if you haven't seen my group, it's on Facebook. Please come join the group if you'd like. I lead a monthly cleanse. You don't have to do it every month. You can just observe and learn and watch and see other people's results and just jump in whenever you're ready. So it's an educational group, but we do have a monthly cleanse that we do for anybody who wants to do it that month. Okay. And then I lead that, and I can walk people through. I just wrote an article about how to do your first cleanse. So feel free to check out that article. It's at the top of my bio here in TikTok. And then the link to the group is also in my bio. So you can click that and go straight to the group and request to join. Just put something in the why are you joining question, so that I know you're not a bot or whatever. I've had some trolls in there, and it's annoying. I have to, anyway. So let's see. Any other questions? Well, it's been fun. I hope it was helpful. I'll do another Q&A soon, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Let's see. I've been using borax, and would that mean I have been already doing some parasite cleansing? Okay, so borax / boron, people all the time will be like, it's not the same thing. Okay, it's not exactly the same thing. Boron is an element. Okay, borax is a boron salt. Okay, so it's like a NaB. It's a sodium borate compound. Okay, so boron you can actually buy on Amazon if you want to for like $20 a bottle. You can take it as a supplement. Or some people would prefer to buy an entire huge box of borax that you can take as a supplement every day, and it will last you like 10 years, and it's like $4 for the box. So that's why some people take borax instead. It's a boron salt, so it breaks down into your body into sodium and boron, okay? So there are a lot of people on TikTok that have accused me of killing people because I drink borax. But anyway, if you aren't comfortable with it, just buy the supplement on Amazon. Okay. That's my disclaimer. But yes, it does address some parasites. It's alkaline, so it can help to alkalinize your body and increase the alkalinity. Parasites do thrive in an acidic environment. So it helps in that way. But boron is basically a trace element, like an essential nutrient. Okay. So, I don't consider it necessarily a parasite cleanse. I consider it a supplement basically. But it does attack those parasites that infest your joints. So if you are deficient in boron, which a lot of us are, it's supposed to be in our soil, but our soil is depleted. So a lot of us are deficient in boron. If you are deficient in boron, then you may have some of those parasites that infest the joints, and you may have arthritis, and you may have joint pain, and you may have degeneration and all of that kind of thing. And a lot of people have said that if they take this borax solution, which look it up, it's a very diluted solution, and they take it every day, that their arthritis disappears, their joints improve, their pain goes away, all of these things. Some of their stomach issues go away. So it's a thing. Okay. Look it up for sure. I try not to belabor that point too much because I get so much hate for talking about that. But yeah. Yeah, I want to give borax a try. Only problem is all the meds I take for heart and baby. So yeah, I mean, definitely research into it. It's a nutrient, like it's an essential nutrient that we're supposed to get from our food. Okay. So I just don't see how it's going to interact with any meds. You know what I mean? Like, just don't take like high levels of it, right? Like, you can look online and it'll tell you the recommended dosage of boron in a day. Last time when I looked, I believe it was between 5 and 20 milligrams a day. So it's pretty easy to calculate like how much you can take, right? And so just, start really slow and work your way up. It's, definitely worth looking into. Okay. And if you'd rather take the supplement on Amazon, definitely do that. I do have it linked in my bio if you want to see which boron supplement I would recommend. A lot of people just do it because it's so much cheaper to do it. And it's the same thing really. It's a salt. So yeah. Well, so borax it's a town in Southern California. And that's what it's named after, is that small town in Southern California. And they mine the borax from lake beds, and it's just a salt. Like it's a natural salt. Okay. They don't put anything else in the box. It is used as like a laundry additive. It's not a detergent, like some people say. It's just, it's a salt. So, it does a lot of things. Like you can use it to clean with, you can, put it in your laundry, you can do a lot of things with it, but it's a boron salt. So, since if you ingest a little bit of it, it will break down into sodium and boron is the essential nutrient. And obviously sodium is, something we need too. So that's just kind of the breakdown of it and my understanding of it. But definitely look into it, do your own research and get comfortable with how you want to take it. What does it mean when my joint pain got worse? I was only taking for 3 days in my hands. If you want to message me, I need to ask you some more questions about that. If you only took it for 3 days and your joint pain got worse, first of all, I'd ask how much you were taking, and how you were taking it. But 3 days isn't long enough. I would probably scale back on it and take a little bit less if you're feeling worse. But it's possible that, it flared something like if you're attacking parasites in your joints and they're dying, they don't like to die. So they kind of fight back, and it makes it can feel worse before it feels better, if that makes sense. So, yeah, if it was only 3 days, that could be the thing. Yeah. Some people do a pinch in water. Some people make like a solution. I usually make like a quart jar solution and just take a little bit of the solution every day. So that's what I usually do. 1/8 of a teaspoon. Yeah, 1/8 of a teaspoon is kind of a lot. So I would definitely start with less than that. But yeah. Anyway, maybe talk about something else because I get a lot of hate for that. Okay, well, anyway, so I think I'll end for today, and I'll do another Q&A session soon. Feel free to message me if you have questions or want to discuss. Please check out the article in my bio. It's got step-by-step instructions for your first parasite cleanse. And hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions, and come join the group on Facebook called The Truth About Parasites, How We Heal. And the link to that is also in my bio. So come join the group, and I hope to see you in there. Talk to you soon.